Moonbase 1 is not a science fiction film. Not really. It's futuristic, yes, but it's also realistic. Like very popular films Gravity and The Martian. The full-length feature is set 30 years from now on a lunar-based, corporately funded, privately owned international mining colony where helium-3 is being extracted for use on Earth.
Helium-3 is the first and only resource that we know about today that would come from space, that has the potential for attracting private capital in order to extract it from the moon and to utilize it here on Earth in fusion reactors. Its value compared to coal is at least $3 billion a metric ton, and so it is easy to see over the next few decades that helium-3 economics could attract private investment.
Realistically, the challenge of meeting Earth's basic, ever-increasing energy demands over the course of the next several decades is growing exponentially.
It is a non-radioactive, ideal fuel for fusion reactors because, one, it does not produce any radioactive byproducts, and two, it can be converted to energy at very, very high efficiencies.
But only small amounts of helium-3 exist on Earth. It is, however, extremely abundant throughout the entire surface of the moon.
That colony, or better termed, I think, settlement, would be initially supplying the first helium-3 fusion reactor here on Earth for energy production. It now appears that an initial capital investment of $10 to $15 billion would be what be required in order to have the launch capability, the lunar surface habitat and mining capability, and the fusion technology back here on Earth in order to utilize the product. What are some examples of projects like that? Well, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline cost about that amount in today's dollars. The Eurotunnel, the tunnel under the English Channel, cost about $15 billion, financed by private capital, as was the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. So we're not talking about numbers outside what we are used to thinking about within the capital markets of supporting.
Totally doable, especially if the world's big energy corporations band together, as the movie's producers predict. So, you see, Moonbase 1 is more science fact than science fiction, just beyond the horizon of current technological achievements.
A great deal of automation would be used in these mining activities, as well as in other activities that human beings would conduct on the moon. But still, I have the feeling that each large fusion reactor here on Earth would require a miner on the moon, and that miner would require probably about 15 people.
When you think Moonbase 1, think MASH on the moon. That's because Moonbase 1 is actually about real relationships in a real harsh and hostile environment, just as in the hit 1970s television series MASH. Moonbase 1 is set in a fully enclosed lunar colony. While it portrays how an interplanetary mining operation might realistically function, the interplay of the people tells the story. From truck drivers and plumbers to astronauts, technicians, and scientists, Moonbase 1 is populated by very real humans living very real lives who work, play, and love just as we do on Earth, except they do it on the moon. Moonbase 1 will also explore the challenges of an international corporate effort in solving Earth's energy needs as business interests are pitted against national and human interests.
You have to think about going back into deep space as an entrepreneurial activity, one which has to be able to put together a credible business plan with a high enough return on investment that private sector capital will be attracted.
The future sells, especially when it's realistically within reach. Like Gravity and The Martian, we believe Moonbase 1 will also fire the audience's imagination and become a very popular movie. Take the journey to Moonbase 1. Our grandchildren most certainly will be.